Ever since my man Joe Burrow tore his ACL nearly a year ago, he has been working to get back on the football field. And now the time has finally come for the Tiger King to be back in business.
Here comes the quarterback Burrow, looking for a block, and he got it up in the front by Hopkins into the end zone. Touchdown!
After going first overall in 2020, expectations were pretty high on Joe as a rookie. And in his limited time playing, he was okay, but not anything amazing. I know that he had an awful defense, terrible O-line, etc, etc. But he just wasn't on the level of a fellow colleague in Justin Herbert. My man Herbie was out of a smaller market in Oregon, but was still able to outperform Joe in his first season. Now I know that Joe was out half the year, but in the time that he played, he didn't hit his stride until later on. If he played the entire season, he might have been much better, but no matter the case, Joe has not yet shown what I think is his best. After saying all this stuff, you would think that I'm a bigger Herbert fan, but I really think that Joe has what it takes to be one of the best in the league. A bit of a wild statement to say after such an underwhelming rookie campaign, but I see something in Joe that just seems unique. There's a fire within Joe that reminds me of honestly Brady, after the gazillion-time Super Bowl champ was looked over by the football world as a rookie. Am I saying that Joe could be the next Brady? I heavily doubt it, but I just think he has something special. Anyways, back to the whole injury thing, and after starting off the year with nearly 2,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 5 picks, Joe was hit and not only tore his ACL, but also MCL, along with some other damage to his PCL and meniscus that ended his season after only 9.5 games. While he was in, he was pretty good, but the fact that he was on the worst team in football made him look much worse and has caused a lot of people to overlook the former Heisman winner. I know coming off a torn ACL is rough, but Joe is a tough cookie and has been working relentlessly since the injury to be back on the field as quick as possible. After getting a reconstructive left knee surgery last year, Joe has been on a journey to get back to his old self ever since. Keep in mind that these types of injuries usually sideline players anywhere from 9 to 12 months typically, depending on the case. Dealing with that kind of rehab process is tough for anyone, but it's heightened for someone like Joe who's completely focused on getting back onto the football field. Crazy enough, only a day after the injury, when asked about whether or not Joe would start the 2021 season, Zach Taylor said that he'll be ready and followed up with the quote, "I said what I said." Having a coach say something like that and having your back is important, and allowed Joe to just focus on getting better and better each and every day. Fast forward a bunch of time, and going into the summer, Joe was doing much better than before, and was already practicing rolling out in early June. As the Pro Football Doc would say, Joe's left knee was progressing well, but still not 100%. So just over 7 months following the tear, he was almost there, but was still not at his best. Not a bad progression, but instead a testament to the severity of the injury, and just how long it takes to get back from something as serious as it is. A few weeks after the video of him rolling out, Joe was so confident in his progress that he said that he was just about 100%. Nice to hear, but was it realistic? Not really, and in fact fellow teammate Tyler Boyd said only a week later that he was still iffy on his knee, but was at least looking good. Although a little bit of conflicting tales of the progress, all signs were pointing towards the fact that Joe was almost back to football shape. After starting training camp a bit rough, it seems like Joe was able to flip a switch, and as he would say, it all clicked back and he was ready to go from there. A pretty great thing to hear from someone without really any in-game experience in nearly a year, but a sign that he was still not fully back. The following few weeks after he got back to what he thought was normal, Joe was able to take more and more reps and eventually get his timing down. Although he said he felt like his old self once again, it wasn't good enough for him to get any preseason action, as he was kept out of pretty much the whole thing to play it safe. As you could probably guess, Joe wasn't too thrilled to miss any football, and was even lobbying to get back to sadly no avail. Although he missed about 99% of the preseason, it seems like Joe is back in time for the real football, so it's going to be fun to watch. Before we talk some more about my man Joe, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more stuff like this, and turn on noties in order to stay tuned. Anyways, back to the video. After only winning 4 games in 2020, the Bengals are, let's just say, not a team that people think will do anything this year. Even though they drafted a bunch of studs and got some new pieces through free agency, the Bengals are definitely a work in progress no matter the case, and so it seems like they're being counted out once again. A lot of times, the team is well worth being looked over, but I think they could do some stuff this year. Not only is Joe back, but another Joe with the last name Mixon is healthy, and upon that, one of Joe's former teammates in Jamar Chase is joining the team. I know that Jamar has struggled in the preseason, but a talent like his will bounce back eventually, and I just think he has the rookie jitters right now. Getting hit in the middle of the field doesn't sound fun at all, so I get why it's been a bit rough. But still, he just has to work on it and keep getting better. Nonetheless, the Bengals were also able to pick up former Clemson stud Jackson Carman through the draft, and Riley Reed from Minnesota to help the O-line. So at least it seems that they care about Joe's health. But anyways, it'll be interesting to watch unfold concerning how it was last year. It seems like signs are pointing out for the Tiger King, as just about a week ago, Joe dropped an office quote in his return to social media with the phrase, "Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy. Both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me." A quote like that shows that Joe means business this year, and it makes me hyped for what he can bring to the Bengals in what seems to be a very interesting season to say the least. Although it seems like there is good vibes all around the organization, there are always going to be doubters, and in fact some critics think it will even be an ugly season. Another analyst even predicted that the team is only going to win 3 games this year, one less than they did during not only Joe's rookie year, but a season where he missed over 6 games. Although a bit rough, the criticism makes sense after watching Joe's struggles early in training camp, and so it's important to take it with a grain of salt, but definitely not ignore. Even though I made this whole video building up the fact that Joe is finally back, I'm not expecting anything crazy out of Cincinnati, and instead I think they just have the ability to improve. If I was to guess how well the Bengals will do in 2021, I would say that a record around 6-11 or 7-10 is suitable for such a unit, and although a bit low, I think it makes sense with the current situation. What I think is going to be the big change this year is a play by a certain Joey Burrow. No joke, I think he's going to eclipse 4,000 yards and potentially 40 touchdowns this season, and upon that be in the running for a Pro Bowl nod. Although a bit more than 2,600 yards and 13 touchdowns in 2020, you gotta think that if he maintained the same pace for the rest of the year, then he would have passed for just over 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Nonetheless, I think that Joe could surprise quite a bit of people this year, and so I'm excited to see what he has in store. Joe Burrow was thrown into the fire as a rookie, and after climbing his way out of the ashes, it's looking like the Tiger King is back. So get ready for the show. Roar.
3rd and 9, Colts bring pressure. They don't do that a lot. Airing it for T. Higgins on the sideline and a fingertip grab.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, it would be awesome if you guys could subscribe, like, and comment down below what stuff you want next. Anyways, see you all soon and peace out.